Welcome, America, to Dow's Weekly Digest. Our theme this week is going to be finishing well. Finishing well. Now, before we get into that, let's first look at cowboy wisdom. This cowboy wisdom was given to me by a young person, and it goes a little bit like this. How did the cowboy save so much money? I don't know. How did the cowboy save so much money? His horse gave him a couple bucks every day. Kind of cute. Since it seems we're into winter everywhere, here's a bit of South Dakota trivia. Who knows of Canton Ski Hill? You see, in 1912, a group of Norwegians visited Augustana College and suggested that a steep hill on the side of the Big Sioux River would be a good jumping place for a ski jump. At that time, Augustana College was located in Canton, South Dakota. That was before they moved to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Today it's now known as Augustana University. In fact, that's where I started my MBA program, and where my son Justin, when he was in high school, was a DJ on the Augustana radio. Now, the Augustana students in 1912 cleared the hill, set up a jump, and established a club. A few years later, the Sioux Valley Ski Club was formed, and a large ramp was built on a longer, steeper slope nearby. By 1925, Canton was known around the world for world-class ski jumping. National events were held, and it drew skiers from all over the world. In 1932, the U.S. Olympic trials were held in Canton, South Dakota. A little South Dakota trivia. Finishing well. Well, that could mean a lot of different things. And maybe I can clarify what I mean by it by this story. At 7 p.m. on October 20th, 1968, a few thousand spectators remained in the Mexico City Olympic Stadium. It was cool and dark, getting colder all the time. And the last of the marathon runners, they, each exhausted, was being carried to first aid stations. More than an hour earlier, Mamo Wolde, an Ethiopian, looked fresh as when he started, when he finished and won, winning gold, running that 26 miles, 385-yard event. Now, one of the competitors was from Tanzania, Joseph Stephen Awari. Awari, he was not used to the high altitude of the city, and at about the 19 kilometer point of the race, there was some jockeying and positioning around, and he hit the ground and badly wounded his knee, dislocated that knee, and his shoulder hit the pavement. He, however, kept on running. The remaining spectators, they were prepared to leave the stadium. Near the marathon gate, suddenly, they heard a sound of sirens and police whistles. All the eyes turned towards the gate. A lone figure, number 36, and having the colors of Tanzania, entered the stadium. You see, John Stephen Awari was the last to finish the marathon. Now, with his leg bloodied and bandaged, he grimaced as he hobbled around that 400 meters. The spectators rose and they applauded. After crossing the finish line, Awari slowly walked off the field. Later, a reporter asked a question, and it might have been a question in everyone's mind. Why did you continue the race after you badly injured yourself so much? He said, my country did not send me 5,000 miles to start the race. They sent me 5,000 miles to finish the race. Be sure you finish your race. Are you in your 11th hour? Just don't give it up. Keep the pace. You know, one race that yours truly's looking at is I want to complete 50 years in this industry. Finishing well. and looking in the book of wisdom, the Bible. Let's turn to the New Testament. Hebrews 12, and I'm thinking of verse 1. And let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. You know, a carrier that comes to mind to help you help your clients run with endurance and obtain financial wellness is Principal. So let's go over to fmiAgent.com and look at some of the resources that Principal has for us, not only in the business genre, which we know they're very good at, but also equally so the individual market. And at the top, I'm going to go and click onto Agent Tools, Marketing, and scroll down to Products. From there, I'm going to scroll down to our premier carrier for today, Principal. Now, one of the first resources that I like to look at is the news. And coming to February 12th, help close the life insurance coverage gap. You know, as families start the race, an industry-wide campaign has been started, and Principal is part of them. So let's click on to that Read More. And now I'm clicking on to the button Learn More, and I'm seeing, as I said, that industry-wide organizations coming together in this particular month, and look at all the logos that you see that are participating there. I want to point out as we scroll down, there is a video, and we're going to look a little more into that later. In fact, I'm going to show you that video. It comes to us from Life Happens. It covers the story of securing the American dream. Believe me, that is something that we all, especially the group that I'm proud to say I'm part of, that's a naturalized U.S. citizen, we try to go to with quality and all the steps we take towards that success that we define. So I'm looking, as I scroll down more, folks, I see the consumer insights. Keep in mind that these can be shared with your clients. And be sure to contact your internal wholesaler if you need assistance with that. Now, I want to go back from this resource, and keep in mind that all these resources we're looking at are available to you. But I want to click back, and I'm going to go to the term arena, since we're speaking of families and maybe young families. So I'm clicking on to Products, and I'm clicking on to Term of Principals. As I look at term, look at the ages available, and I see something that is getting to be more unique all the time. Folks, there is a 30-year term there. As I look at that 30-year term, and I look a little more in the details, I see that a 50-year-old tobacco user can buy a 30-year term, all the way age 80. And to add to some of their uniqueness, there is a conversion privilege. Okay, and that's not different. They can extend the term conversion period. That makes it different. You can extend the term period from going from term to permanent. That is available with Principal. Another uniqueness, folks, is this rider called the Children's Term Rider. The Children's Term Rider, added to the parent's policy, they do not ask any health questions of the children at the time of the application. That makes it unique. You could have one child that maybe their health isn't the best. You could add that term rider. And folks, yes it is. It is convertible. It is convertible at a standard rate at the age of 25. Very, very unique there, folks. So when your clients are going down that life's path and they're going from milestone to milestone, grow with them. Start them maybe at the term, and then start to do conversions, either all or part. That is available to you right here with Principal. And if I had any questions on the product or that children's rider, I would be sure to be contacting your internal wholesaler. Be sure to do that, folks. My communication tip. It's fairly simplistic here, folks. It's this. WAIT. What does that stand for? why am I talking? Why am I talking? And remember, this is a communication tip. And the video I'd like to share with you comes to us from the contribution that principal made to another organization called Life Happens. Remember I mentioned that this is an industry-wide campaign. And the takeaway here from this video, I think, is the foresight that the parents had in planning with an insurance professional to buy life insurance, not only on themselves, but also their children.
My family left Vietnam for a better life for themselves and for their children. I think they bought life insurance because they thought that they were at that age where anything can happen.
Cái hợp đồng tôi thực hiện cho họ thì có hai cái rider là cái waiver of premium và cái death accident.
My mom's car accident, it was a serious one. They said there's a little chance that she might make it.
But somehow she was able to pull through with it.
Sau cái tai nạn đó thì sức khỏe bà trở nên suy giảm và bà không thể đi làm việc tiếp tục.
They also had the waiver premium rider, meaning she didn't have to make payments on her policy anymore. The company made the monthly payments for her.
Mặc dù bà Ngọc Anh đã qua đời sau 2 năm từ ngày bà bị tai nạn, nhưng company nơi tôi làm việc đã vẫn pay cái quyền lợi của người qua đời vì tai nạn ngay lập tức.
They determined the cause of death was due to the injuries sustained from the accident.
After that, my dad actually sat me down and said, look, we had life insurance for your mom, and we're going to use that to basically get back on our feet.
Annie and Stephen decided that he needed more life insurance because now that he was a single father, and if something happens to him, then the kids would need an additional sum of money. So he purchased another policy for himself.
When my dad got sick, it was near the beginning of my senior year.
He said his stomach hurt too much to the point where it brought him to tears. That's when they diagnosed him with stage 4 liver cancer.
It hurt a lot when he left. A couple nights before, he saw me like stressing out, and he's like, well, don't worry about me, I'll be fine. The next thing you know, he's not fine.
And then he was gone. Ted and Annie counseled us what to do with our life insurance. The life insurance policies allowed me to basically provide for my sister so she can go to college, and as well as me being able to get back up on my feet and be strong for my sister. I think every family should have life insurance just for the fact that you need to make sure your family is secured once you leave this world.
Without the insurance, me and Jimmy would be nowhere right now.
A little bit of an emotional video, wouldn't you say? But Jimmy and his sister directly, did you notice, attribute the foresight and planning of their parents and what they did to purchase life insurance to allow them to stay in the race towards their American dream and be able to finish well. Folks, as each one of us runs down life's path, we do it with endurance and assurance of GP for you. God's plan for you is great. The finish line, you're going to reach it. And when you do, you're going to hear, well done, good and faithful servant. And blessed are those who ease the pain of misfortune, for they shall be called insurance agents. You take care.